I'm going to talk about this painting. It's called Nature Provides. It was the second I did in a series, my nature series. If you've seen the video for Nature Weeping, that was the first one. This is the second one. And I said I was going to go lighter in my colors with this one. And so, again, with the theme of this series, it's a combination of abstract with some realism of plant life. And so with this particular one, I used both acrylic and oils, whereas the first one, Nature Weeping, I just did all acrylic. This one incorporates some oil paint as well in the detail work. So what inspired me with this one was the season of fall. During fall, I'm a gardener. I love to garden. I love the harvest time. I love seeing all that hard work I put into something give me something to eat and enjoy. And I do have grapevines where I am, and so this last year was the first time we could harvest from those grapevines and actually make some wine. So I was on a wine kick, so you'll see grapes in this. So I also had actual plants to draw inspiration from and look and feel so that I can make some realism in the painting, but kind of maintain some abstract as well, which I always like. So with this one, as you can see, the bottom is the acrylic pour, and how I get, as opposed to Nature Weeping, it was just hand done dripping effect, and I had a lot of control. This one with the acrylic pour technique, I have only control over the colors, but the end results are just out of my control. So sometimes it's an awesome surprise, sometimes it's a horrible failure and I have to do it over again and scrape it all off and waste all that paint. But this one actually was great on the first try, so that rarely happens, so I was excited. And it used all the colors I love in fall, and as you can see, I'm a redhead and I wear a lot of fall colors, and so this was just fun because I'm like, oh, it's all the colors I love. So it has lots of teals, it has some dark purples and burgundies, and orange is my favorite color. It has some orange in there, and it has kind of a creamy off-white base, and so it's a warm painting. It belongs in a warm color palette room, browns, beiges, teals, so it would look really pretty with this painting in your home. And so with the pour, it gets kind of these bubbles, and how I did that is I pour several different colors in a line from about this point down, and I just keep them up here, and then in this bottom section I just did the cream color. And so what I do is I put the cream color up to almost over the entire color section, pouring on top of it, and then I drag a piece of paper down, and so you maintain just the lighter portion, but you'll get these pulled down colors that I put there. So they get from lighter over here to darker over here. So once I had that done and dried and I was happy with it, I sketched out all the different leaves I was going to do, and I kept adding more leaves and more depth, and I wanted the branch to have texture, so I had acrylic medium up here, and made the kind of barky, peely barky look of a grapevine up here, so it has some texture. So the leaves are a combination of oak leaves. It has some acorns in here, has some figs over here, fig leaves as well, little baby ones. Some just kind of generic foliage here, just to add some drama. And along with that, I have some grapes. I have some dark grapes for like Merlot, or then I also have like a Chardonnay looking grapes, so they're like the lighter color grapes over here, and the grapes themselves are different shades of those colors, so they're all like playing off each other as if the light's hitting them and pulling out a color that's different from every one of their fellow grapes. So they were fun to make. They have little reflections on them as well, so they're moist. And then because it's kind of a drippy painting, I wanted to put in some water droplets on the leaves. And so if you look on the painting, you'll see there's really realistic water droplets just kind of coming off these leaves, and some of them are even dripping off, like this one here, they're dripping off into this section. So it actually looks like it's adding to the colors below it, like the colors are dripping off the leaves and becoming the abstract part of the painting. So that turned out better than I was expecting, because it has a lot of detail work, and you know, after a while, when you've done a particular painting for a long time and you're just doing detail and it takes you weeks to complete, because you once you've committed to detail, it takes that amount of time to do it right, and or at least to a point where you're happy with it. So this took me a long time. I kind of went over sections again and again, just because I really wanted a lot of depth. I wanted a lot of interest with the drops, the water droplets. You have to like make darker leaves in the background, so it's like there's like leaves way in the back, and you just get kind of impressions of them. So this one took me a lot of time, but I think it's worth it. It was fun to do. I learned a lot on this painting, and I applied what I learned to other paintings that I did after this one. So I hope you liked Nature Provides. It's a very fall-inspired painting.